so great.
Thank you.
Looks like everything to me. And that's the start of our vacation. Our little 2-day vacation. That is literally just the weekend, but we're going somewhere, so it's a vacation.
I only really consider things vacations when you take time off to do it, or like you're actively. This was already a weekend. We're just taking a weekend trip.
Yes.
To New York City.
We're just not sitting in our house for the 2 days like we normally would. So as Chris said, we're going to New York. We just got off work. It's 6:08 currently. We're getting a little bit of food, and then, well, we got a little bit of food, and now we're going to drive to New York.
And now we're on the road. Yeah, we picked up some McDonald's. We just got a couple quick things from like the dollar menu and like sides and stuff, because we're not gonna be. We want to eat. We're gonna be staying in Chinatown in the Lower East Side of Manhattan, and plenty of awesome places to eat around there probably. So we are going to eat something when we get there for dinner. But this is like a snack because we still have 3 hours. We have like 3.5 hours.
3.5 hours and getting settled in and ordering the food. It's going to be closer to 4.
Yeah, it might be closer. It'll probably be closer to 4 hours. Yeah, I guess we'll see what happens when we get there. But we're gonna get some food when we get there. So the sun's going down. We've made our first and hopefully only pit stop. We'll see, to go to the bathroom. But we're like halfway there. We're gonna be there probably around 9:30ish, hopefully, maybe a little bit later. We've been listening to Equal Rights by Terry Pratchett, 3rd book in Discworld, which has been really fun and really good.
I feel like it's not as funny as books 1 and 2, but I think that's because the cast of characters is a lot smaller. So there's still funny parts, but it's not like ridiculously funny and all over the place.
I mean,
but
it's really clever still, though.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of clever stuff in it.
And it definitely turns that way further on, where like I think it gets funnier the further it goes along. So they're like, we're getting past like all this like exposition part, and then the rest just like takes off. I'm really excited to take off. So
we've both been a little bit out of it. Like, Giselle had a really long day at work because it's Mother's Day this weekend, and it was very busy at the store today, at the bookstore.
oh my
And
gosh,
it's just kind of been a long week, it feels like, and
I'm so tired.
I'm a little bit tired, but like it's kind of a good thing because I'm hoping we can fall asleep pretty well tonight to wake up early tomorrow.
Yeah, it's just been an absolutely bananas week.
It's weird because like I'm like exhausted and out of it, but like I'm usually on this kind of drive. I'm used to driving all the way to Maryland, which is like twice the length. And we're like really almost there, and I have that to look forward to. We don't have like a ton of.
Only 2 hours left.
Not 2 hours, like an hour and a half. We're halfway there, basically. So I'm glad about that.
Look, Mother, I'm not a mother. Certainly, I'm certainly not your mother. If you ever had mothers, which I doubt, if I was your mother, I'd have run away before you were born. Essential.
So this straight down here, this is where our Airbnb is, straight down there, and our parking is just like right around the corner over here. See the park sign? That's where we're going. That's where our car is sleeping over the next couple nights. It has felt like kind of a long trip, I think just because we are both very exhausted. I think, well, there's a place like literally right like 2 seconds out the door that is open for food, so I could like order it and then just go pick it up for us. So I think we might do that. We're gonna go ahead and look to see if they're online, see if I can order online, or at least have a menu that I can go order from. But I'm pretty hungry. Don't know about you. Giselle's like about to fall asleep, but
It's been a very long week.
I'll just show you around real quick. You just saw outside a little bit of the room itself. You can kind of see out this window. The subway is right out there. I don't know if the subway just went by. We have headphones. It's fine. It's a very nice place.
They gave us earplugs.
They did give us earplugs. It's a very nice place. It's got a balcony and everything. It's very nice looking in general. Like, we just open this and get the nice breeze and sit out there. The balcony has windows, apparently. Like, the subway track is, like, right there. But we'll keep this door closed and use headphones or earplugs or whatever. There's a train. There one goes right now. Let's close this. I actually kind of like the gentle rumble. I don't mind it. But, like I said, we can listen to stuff through headphones while we fall asleep. Let's look to see if there's any food that we can get. Ordering from the place down the street, it says it's closed, but I found a place that can deliver to us in like a half hour, so there we go. Woo! Food. I'm so hungry. Food. It's all in there. I didn't check. But it's so interesting that like New York City just has like a million dudes on bicycles going around delivering food late at night. It's crazy.
It's so hot.
Good.
Oh, yum, 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 yum.
We got some General Tso's chicken, some pork fried rice, and some pork dumplings. Lovely. And this is white rice that goes with the General Tso's, I believe.
Yes. Oh, I'm very excited.
Me too.
It's so hot though. Like literally touch the bottom of the General Tso's.
That's good. It said it was on its way, and then 5 minutes later the guy was here, so I guess it's right around the corner. I was literally looking up where the restaurant is and like how long it would take him to get here, and then he called me, so.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Too hot. Pork fried rice is good. I like it. Totally forgot to mention also, yesterday we went and saw Detective Pikachu. It was incredibly ridiculous, and I liked it a lot. It was a lot of fun. And it's Giselle's new favorite movie ever.
It was really funny. I mean, it didn't make a lot of sense, and it was very ridiculous, but it was funny, and I really liked that one of our main characters is extremely short, and so they're constantly
Pikachu.
making jokes about, like, he's constantly griping about how, since he's short, and how, like, nobody takes into consideration how short he is, and how, like, annoying it can be to be short sometimes, and I very much related to it on a personal level. There's one part where he's, like, the kid doesn't want to carry him on his shoulder, and he's like, oh, yeah, that's fine, I wanted to walk 100,000 steps today. And I was like, yes.
Basically, Giselle is saying that she wants me to carry her around on my shoulder at all times.
That's exactly it. There's basically a line in the movie as well that's like, where Howie says that he takes like 10,000 steps for every one of yours. And I'm like, that's how I feel like with Christopher. I take minimum 3 steps for every one of his. And he's like, why are you walking so slow? And I'm like, I'm walking faster than you are. My legs are just short. Show a little compassion.
Or we're going to eat, maybe watch something, and then probably go to sleep immediately after that. Good morning, and Welcome to Saturday. We are awake, both showered. I just got out of the shower, and it's around 8:15ish. Giselle's recurling her hair a little bit, and we are in about like 15 minutes or so gonna get a lift and take it up to the area where we're going to be for the entire day. It's gonna be like basically on the same side of Manhattan that we are, the east side, but up farther near like the Rockefeller Plaza and stuff. We're going to be doing several things sort of within like a 10-minute walking range of that area. I kind of put together a little bit of an itinerary kind of thing for us because, well, we weren't sure what we wanted to do besides that. We're going to see the Tolkien Exhibit at the Morgan Library. I don't know if we've actually said that in a previous vlog, but that's the first time we're saying that now. We're going to see the Tolkien Exhibit. This is the last weekend that it's opened. I don't know everything that's in it, but it's like original manuscripts, I'm pretty sure, like drawings and just like things.
I don't know anything that's in it really. I just heard about it and I'm like, I'm going. Case closed. So.
We can't bring the camera in. Their website specifically states that you're not allowed to do any videography inside of the Morgan Museum and Library, which I'm not super excited about, but we'll do our best to get something. I don't know, maybe not inside, but around, and we'll talk about it and tell you about it. And yeah, we have. I won't mention everything here. We'll see what we can get done. I have a list of things in the area that we can go do. I know where everything is. I kind of explored on Google Maps in the area to make sure we could like get to everything that I wanted to do, and I just like chose things that I saw pop up, and yeah.
You're thinking that sounds weird, like, oh, Chris is choosing everything that we're doing this weekend. It's 'cause he did. He was like, so do you want to sit down and plan what we're going to do this weekend? And I was like, you choose. So it'll be a surprise for me just as much as you. Like, he went over it with me like a week ago of like things that he thought he wanted to do. But it'll be just as much a surprise for me as it is for you.
Something Giselle has been doing over the past couple weeks is reading Lord of the Rings. Like I've read The Hobbit. I love The Hobbit. Giselle really loves The Hobbit, and she had never read Lord of the Rings. I've actually never read Lord of the Rings, but the movies are my favorite movies of all time. To me, they are perfect movies. I really love them more than any movie. If I could watch any movies over and over and over again, if I had to watch any movies over and over and over again, I would watch those. But I haven't read the books yet. But I do. Yeah, I feel like that's justified enough. I know enough about it. I'm gonna go see the exhibit. Giselle has been trying to catch up, and she reread the first book, and because she had read that before, but the other two books she had not read.
I still haven't read. He means. I read The Two Towers, and I really loved it a lot. It's so good. And then I am currently maybe like 25% of the way through The Return of the King. Could I have finished it in time? Yes. Easily. So easily I could have. Instead, I just watched a lot of YouTube. So it was totally my own fault I didn't end up getting to it. And I'm like not too sad about it, knowing that I could have done it, but I chose not to. I've been feeling very off the past couple of weeks, like with my mental health, and I just decided that if I didn't feel like reading that book, I didn't want to like force myself through reading it when I wouldn't have loved it. So instead, I didn't. But instead, what I'm doing this morning is that I've been watching Lindsay Ellis's video essays that she did on them to kind of just refresh a little bit on the movies, which has been really fun, and yeah.
The subway was just going by, which didn't really bother me much at all last night when we were falling asleep. Like, I was able to fall asleep pretty well. Did it bother you a lot?
I probably got like 3 hours of sleep last night.
I'm sorry. Was it because of the subway? Or?
I think partially, but I think also just the bed. It was very firm, and I didn't find the bed very comfortable. I just had a very hard time sleeping and staying asleep. I woke up every couple hours and had a hard time falling back asleep in between, and I woke up at like 5 a.m. and I don't know, I'm feeling a little tired, and I'm definitely gonna have to get some caffeine in my system at some point today, I think, to get me through. Maybe we should like stop and buy like a 5-hour energy or something.
That was an extremely good waffle, but it was also a $20 waffle.
It better be good.
Very expensive, but quite possibly one of the best waffles I've ever had.
Yeah.
We're a little bit still hungry, but we're not going to spend any more money because this place is really expensive. But
I'm starving.
we might. Giselle said she wasn't like starving when we came in, but now that she ate something, she's actually feeling hungrier than she did before we ate. But we'll maybe stop and grab snacks and stuff later, and we have a couple snacks in the backpack and stuff.
It's not like there's like a food truck on every corner in New York.
Yeah, we'll pass food. We'll pass plenty of food. We'll have plenty of food today. But the waffle was really good, even though it was not filling necessarily and very expensive, but very good. Well, that was an experience. We have some purchases. We have had a day. It is now like 4 o'clock, something like that.
Yep. This is the only thing we've done.
This is the only thing we've done today. We got here, so we went and got breakfast, and then we came here. We got here at 10. That's when the library opens, is at 10. And we've been here ever since. My original thought with this whole thing was like, okay, yes, this is the last weekend it's open, but for some reason in my mind it was like, oh, it's gonna open at 10, we can just walk in. It's just like, in my mind a museum is different than like this, I guess, and where you just like walk in whenever you want. Like maybe you'll have to buy a ticket, but then like you walk in whenever you want, and just peruse the exhibit and then leave. And I thought we'd be there for like an hour to an hour and a half, something like that. And no, we waited for an hour in line outside to get in to buy a ticket. And then once we had a ticket, we
waited another hour and a half until...
We waited another hour and a half until 12:30. 12:30 is when we actually were supposed... That's what our ticket time was for, to go up to the exhibit, but then we had to wait in another line.
But then we were able to get in line after that and waited another...
You guys are so adorable.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome to New York.
Oh, thank you.
We waited another 45 minutes after that in order to actually get into the exhibit. And then...
So we got in at around 1:30?
I think so.
1:30 to the exhibit, so... And we were in there...
Or like 1:15, around there.
Yeah.
And then...
and it was really cool. Let's say that right off the bat. It was worth the wait.
Oh,
It's
so
really cool.
worth it.
That's the whole reason we came to New York, was to do this. And like, yes, I had some other plans in my head of like what we can do, and we could still do some of the stuff that we were planning on doing.
We could even stay tomorrow and go more if we really wanted to. If we felt like we didn't.
A lot of the other stuff that I was planning on having us do was like more like filler, like just walk around and look at stuff, kind of stuff. But this is the reason we came, and I'm really glad that we did it and that we waited. Yeah. Obviously, it was all worth it, and it was really fun. It was really cool.
Yeah. Since we didn't really know what was in it, we can talk a bit about what was in there because we didn't really look into it too much. We wanted to kind of go in blind.
We just knew it was a Tolkien exhibit. It's an exhibit based on like a collection of stuff of his that is borrowed from like a museum in England, and that's it.
And this is, so it had like pictures and stuff of him like as a kid and of his family life, like his wife and his kids and stuff like that. It had a little bit of that, but then it also like it just had a ton of like original like papers that he wrote on and figuring out like the languages that he wrote, and also like original illustrations that he did, which was I think both of our favorite parts.
Definitely my favorite part.
Yeah.
It's hard to... I didn't realize that J.R.R. Tolkien was such an artist. Like, not only in his writing, but in his art has such a distinct style. And I've never really seen a lot of it before. Obviously, I'd seen like the Hobbit cover, the famous like Hobbit cover.
I didn't even know that was his illustration.
I didn't know that was his illustration either. He painted that. That was his. And he painted so much and drew so much.
Yeah, there were like...
Throughout his college years, his childhood, his college years. There's a watercolor he did from when he was 13, I think. And it's all amazing. And yeah, it was all just like stuff from throughout his life, really, that he did. Throughout his whole time of creating for Middle-earth. Yeah, all the manuscripts.
Yeah, stuff starting around 1900 and going into like the 70s of things that he made. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff from like Cimmerillion like type stuff where it's like
the extras.
The extras, but then there
Yeah.
was like a whole section on just Lord of the Rings and just The Hobbit, and then other like pre-stuff that like a lot of it tied in.
And a lot of the plaques were like kind of describing some of the stuff that like went on with like his publishers and like what they were asking of him, and like he apparently really wanted some illustrations. He wanted to illustrate like the cover and stuff, and he like kind of showed off some of his, he did illustrations without like telling them, and then showed them to them, and they really loved them and had him do the cover and of The Hobbit. And there's just a lot of really cool original artwork
Yeah.
that I've never seen before that I loved.
Same.
And a lot of really cool, his handwriting is amazing, and just seeing things that he created
Yeah.
himself, like taken from his sketchbooks or his notebooks or whatever maps that he created himself, like hand created and then used as references for making the books.
Yeah, to make them as accurate as possible, and all the timelines that he made and character graphs and like all this stuff is just like, it was really cool. And my favorite illustration, Chris can show you right here,
Yeah.
is, oh my goodness, it's just like this gorgeous forest that he made, and it was in the Silmarillion room, and it was just so beautiful, and like had like mushrooms, and I could stare at that forever. The way that he uses like blank space to make texture on like the bark and between trees and stuff like that is just like gorgeous, and he's been doing it forever. He had pictures like from like the 10s, like the 1910s with that. Like it's his thing, it's his style. And
he has, like I said, it's like a very distinct art style, and I really like it. And I want like prints and stuff and posters of like his artwork, and
yeah,
it was just great to see. And we bought a few things. We'll show you more of that later. Maybe when we get back to the Airbnb later tonight, we'll show you some of the stuff that we got.
One thing we did get really quick that I can show though is that
the pocket edition.
The pocket edition of The Hobbit with his illustration.
Yeah.
And it has the red sun and the red smog, which he originally wanted, and then I guess reading from the stuff, the publishers were like, it's too expensive, and they painted over it and made it white.
Yeah.
In like the release, and so then for the anniversary they ended up doing the red again, and I just thought it was a good homage to him.
Yeah, the plaque was kind of describing some of the things his publishers didn't want that he wanted, and the red was one of them. So it was too costly apparently, but yeah, it was really cool.
We both loved it.
We both loved it.
It was so worth it.
It was very worth it. We're going to show you more of, like, we got this another really cool thing we'll kind of show you. And you've been seeing some images while we've been talking of things from a book that we got and whatever. We'll show you more of that later. And then after the exhibit, we went down to the cafe, and we had a Tolkien-inspired, like, Hobbit-inspired dining kind of experience.
It was like the food from The Hobbit, and it was really good. I liked all of it. I liked some things a lot more than other things,
Same,
but
like,
I actually liked everything.
I think we did like everything. I think Giselle liked some of the stuff that I didn't like the most, and I liked some of the stuff she didn't like the most, but like we split it together, and we really liked the experience of eating it.
Yeah, it wasn't the most filling thing ever. Again, we have a trend of like not filling meals, but the experience, like we said, and also just like the variety of flavors made it really fun, because there was like so many different types of things.
Yeah, we might go off and get another like little bit of food as well before we actually eat dinner later night, because we need some more food. But we're gonna go off. I'm not entirely sure what we're gonna do next, but we're just gonna walk off in the direction we're probably gonna go off to the area that we were gonna go do lunch at, but we never did because we missed our reservation and we just ended up canceling it.
And then we saw this and we're like, oh, let's do that instead.
Yeah,
that
we did the Hobbit. We did the Hobbit inspired dining thing instead. So that's like the public library area and all that stuff. But we're gonna go over there now. So. Recognize all the author names?
Nope, not even a little bit. I know E.B. White.
I know some of them. We've stopped in this Japanese, quote-unquote, bookstore. There's lots of Japanese books, but there's also lots of English books. It's a bit like a regular bookstore, a very nice regular bookstore, but their entire second floor, which I kind of just showed a little bit of, is manga and comics and graphic novels and stuff. Giselle got a couple things.
It's about volume 11, the only volume I don't own. And, oh, I guess I don't own volume 13, 14, whatever the most recent one that just came out is. But this is the one, like, sequentially that I don't own. And then I also picked up Monstrous by, oh gosh, what's her name? Marjorie Liu.
And then I have been looking up for a while, like manga that I might like detective manga or like darker manga. And I've been looking for like suggestions online and stuff for a while, and these are a couple that I had found, but I just never found at a bookstore that we ever went to. And I thought about checking out some from the library if they had any, but I just never did. And so I'm gonna buy them here because at least a couple, the first volume of Monster. I'm gonna buy the first volume of Monster here. They're all shrink wrapped as well here, which is really cool. All the manga is, which is something I've never seen before. I don't know if it comes like that or if the store does it themselves, but it keeps them all pristine basically. So volume 1 of Monster, and then volumes 1 and 2 of Psychopaths, which sounds awesome. So I'm gonna give those a shot.
Would it be crazy to spend $12 on matches if they're shaped like books?
Yeah, kind of, but they're also really awesome.
So cute. And then you just take them out and they're little individual books that have beautiful covers. And then they have quotes on the back of the books.
We've come to the Rockefeller Center to look out from the top of the rock. Giselle is not a super fan of how high we are way up, so she's sitting in there. But as I just showed, we are very high up. Very high up. And I think it's freaking awesome. This is the 70th floor. We were just at the 68th floor. Now I'm up even higher. There's Central Park behind me. Empire State Building and World Trade Center back there. I love this. Giselle's ready to go.
It makes me lightheaded being up here. I hate it so much.
I'm sorry. I appreciate you letting me wander around for a little bit.
We took a picture and then I sat down and now I'm ready to go down. Although I'm not excited about the elevator. I might throw up.
The elevator was weird getting up. It felt like the Tower of Terror. They have lights and stuff, a see-through ceiling and lights and stuff projected on the ceiling as you're going up. It's the weirdest thing.
Drop.
Say that again?
I felt like we were gonna drop.
We're gonna go do stuff on the ground now.
These are all only $1. That's so cheap. All of these. Look at them.
All the mass markets?
Simple trades and used finds. Great deals, $1. I think all of them might be. Maybe not. No, these are all only $1.
Holy crap, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Quick update. I knocked everything down. No, you have a problem. This is amazing. We would be vlogging more, but there's too much. There's too much here. It's all $1. This is nuts. This is that whole bookshelf over there and this one. They're all $1.
Justification. I've already read 130-ish books this year, so it's fine, right?
I've read 100 less than that. But I'm trying.
DNFs. Those are books that I finished.
I'm trying to read more. I promise. I have been trying to read more. But wow, we get a lot. The worst thing is though that we have to carry all this stuff to go to dinner. We're gonna go get sushi. But
We're gonna have to go home because
but then we're gonna have to like try to, yeah, Giselle said we might have to go home, so. How's it feel to sit down?
gosh, I'm so tired. I got a workout on the way over here. My muscles hurt now. Oh, very hot.
So, that last place and what I just showed you is a Magnolia Bakery. I got a red velvet cheesecake and a coconut macaroon. I'm gonna eat that and it's gonna be delicious. I was just telling Giselle that I kind of wanted to go to like a Cheesecake Factory or something. My birthday is this week on Thursday. I kind of want to go like have a birthday dinner, but I decided against it. I really just want to start keto very strictly again on Monday. Have no more cheat days. I'm gonna enjoy this weekend. This is my birthday weekend, my birthday celebration weekend. That's how I'm thinking of it anyways. And I'm going back to keto on Monday. I don't want to do any more cheat days for the rest of the summer. Maybe our anniversary. I think I'm good. I'm ready to go back. So this is like my last thing to like kind of top off the end of the night. But anyway.
We're back at the Airbnb now, and we're both very tired. It's only 10. I thought it was like 11. Nope, it's only just 10. It's 10:02. We've been back for like maybe 15 minutes.
We're very tired.
Very tired, but I also feel like I'm not gonna be able to fall asleep very soon, so we'll see. Anyway, we figured we'd show the stuff that we bought today. It was a lot of stuff, but most excitingly,
We got that.
yes,
Tolkien Maker of Middle Earth. It is basically everything that we saw in the exhibit in book form, and plus more stuff, plus other writings and other stuff about the stuff that we saw today.
yeah, it's really, really cool. It's shrink wrapped right now. We're not gonna unwrap it until we get back home.
Yeah,
to keep it as pristine as possible.
We talked about the exhibit earlier, and I kind of inserted some images, some video of me flipping through the book. I filmed that later.
It's so freaking cool though, and they had a copy that we could flip through, and it's just like we had to get it because that was like I needed something that was like very commemorative of the specific experience.
I wasn't sure about getting it at first. Like I was iffy on buying it because it's $65, but once we saw the exhibit, I was like, we have to get it. We have to.
Yeah.
It's great. I want to remember this. I want to remember everything we saw.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't take pictures or video inside, so.
Very cool though, and I'm so excited to get home and look through it because it's so cool. This particular, the front cover, is one that Tolkien illustrated himself. And
He said it was one of his favorites.
So this is Bilbo, like, floating down the river on the barrels, escaping. And, yeah, let's not picture the scene from the movie. Let's just keep this in mind. Although I think the display said that this is no longer, like, accurate. He, like, did it before he flushed things out, so it didn't actually make sense. But it's fine.
He did say it was one of his favorite pieces that he did.
Yeah.
So.
Really cool though. And again, you can see that use of like the negative space of like the white outlining, which is something really distinctive and I feel like you don't see very often.
Yeah. His style is just like great.
Really cool. I love how he does water.
I wish he did more art because I think he was a great artist.
He did a lot though.
He did.
Yeah. And then the rest of the stuff that we got from the Tolkien exhibit, we did already show the beautiful Hobbit, the pocket edition. I wanted to get the pocket one just because it's so cute and small, and we have these really, really cool covers of the Lord of the Rings trilogy from the 60s, and the covers are like bizarre and weird.
Mass
and
market paperback box set that's like super cool.
yeah, it's really cool, and I feel like the art for the Hobbit for this edition is the closest that we'll get to finding an art edition that matches. And I like kind of wanted it to be a similar size, and I've been wanting to buy this for literally years, so I had to. We also ended up buying a few postcards, but they're not Tolkien at all. This one is Winnie the Pooh, and then this one that is just like a lizard and a cricket, and
Giselle liked it.
I like it a lot. It's lizard and it's a grasshopper. Sorry, a grasshopper. Lizard and grasshopper in landscape with fungus. And then a Cheshire cat, Alice the Mad Hatter, and March Hare, and the Dormouse. It's a freaking giant Dormouse, and then the White Rabbit. So we got those, and then a few more Alice-y things. I bought these tissues that are like Christmas Alice in Wonderland tissues. They're the most bizarre things I've ever seen. There's like holly. The Cheshire Cat's on a holly tree, and she's holding like holly berries, and it is in like a Christmas dress with like striped Christmas socks, and then he's pink even though he's the White Rabbit, and he's wearing, it's really weird, but they're gonna go on my Alice shelf. And then I also bought these Alice mini tea set. They're very cute and small, and I mean, how could I not get it? It's Alice in Wonderland. And then the final two Middle-earth-esque things that we got were these two teas, which are gonna sit on the bookcases, but also I will drink them and try to preserve the boxes. So we have Bilbo Baggins Breakfast Blend, and then Gandalf the Grey tea, and they both come with 20 tea bags, and I'm so excited to drink them both. They sound delicious. And then we already showed all the books that we got from the
Kinokuniya books.
Yeah,
the Japanese bookstore.
Tongue twister, my brain just not working. But yeah, we got some really cool things in there that we're both very excited, and they're all shrink wrapped, so again, we're probably not going to pull them out until we get home. And then we went to a used bookstore, and this happened.
Yeah, if you're going to New York City, don't worry about the Strand. Skip the Strand. Go to Book Off. Book Off. It's one word,
Yes.
and it's a used bookstore. There's so many $1 books and so many inexpensive books there. It's crazy. So many books that are like brand new.
If you're for fiction, they're nonfiction.
But they also
section.
have used toys. They have used like pop, like Funko Pops, pop vinyl things. They have like tons of video games and movies and stuff, all used and like cheap.
I wouldn't say necessarily skip the Strand. I think it's worth going at least once to the Strand.
I was being hyperbolic.
Okay, it's just like the thing is that for the Strand, they do have some really cool like Strand like in-house like merchandise. So I feel like for the merchandise, it's really cool to like be able to get something like Strand specific. But a lot of this cool stuff that the Strand has is out of print books, and a lot of the stuff from out of print books, Kinokuniya. I just have to say it's slow. They had a lot of out of print stuff as well, and so like a lot of the things I'm like, oh, I would like to buy this from the Strand, like the little pins and stuff like that. They had there, so I feel like
I was being hyperbolic. The Strand is really cool. Go to the Strand, but also go to Book Off.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
It was really cool. So should we do a total haul right now?
Maybe not.
Maybe
but
not.
Let's just count how many we got.
Oh gosh, we got 13 books. That's not a problem at all.
It was only $20.
Let me say my highlight would be this one, which is the most expensive that I got, The Golem and the Genie by Helene Wecker. It was $5.50. I probably have had the opportunity to buy this before now, but I specifically am planning on reading this book this year, and I'm pretty sure I'll love it, so I decided to pick that up. And then the other most exciting thing that I got, actually, it would be this one, Girl Waits with Gun. This is the first book in a Cop Sisters novel series. It's a mystery series based on like the first female detective or sheriff. The first like female sheriff. I think it's based on like a real woman, and it looks really fun, and I've heard good things about this. The third book recently just came out in paperback actually, and I've been wanting to read the series. I almost read it in February. I almost started this book, so I'm like, oh, I'm pretty sure I'll really like this one. So, or maybe Chris will read it too, because it's a mystery.
It does look good. Looks awesome.
Anyway, those are my two highlights. Although I got so many things, and Christopher got like...
I got a couple, but I'm excited about Golem and the Genie, and I'm excited about that. We got a Cressida Cow book that I'm excited for. I got another Jonathan Lethem book that I'm excited for. So yeah, that's all good.
Yeah.
And good morning, everyone. Good morning to New York City. We are going to be leaving soonish. We fell asleep very shortly after filming last night. I ate my stuff from the bakery. It was very, very good. I also just realized we totally forgot to mention how good Hama was, the sushi place that we went to.
Oh my goodness.
It was very, very, very good sushi. We had like an appetizer that was like shrimp, and it was very good. The service in general was really, really great. And
They were excellent. They were right on the ball all the time. Every other place that we've been today, either the servers completely ignored us, or they've come and checked on us occasionally, but then the check...
just took forever to come
Yeah,
for some
like,
reason.
literally we sat there for 15 minutes after they took our card. And then they're like, oh, you're still sitting here. Can we get you something? And I was like, we just want our card back. And he's like, oh, whoops. And then they, like, had to go dig and find it. And, like, it was absurd.
It was very interesting.
And I don't know. I just... I
We-
feel like for the prices that you pay in New York, they need to give you a little bit more attention.
Yeah.
Than just totally ignore you. But Hama was great. And they... I don't know, they didn't just like let us sit there with like empty water glasses for like 10 minutes at a time and stuff like that.
They were very, very awesome. They were very cool.
But
And
the
it was
sushi,
it was a very relaxed place and just very nice, and the sushi was really good.
yeah, the sushi was very like understated. Like it wasn't like intensely like the flavors weren't like
Super like
Super
indulgent and strong, but they are
strong
like,
and, like
the Nari sushi place that we go to in Maryland. But
Yeah, it was like more mellow. But it was a really good flavor, and it tasted very, like, rich and creamy, and, like, it was so good.
It was
Oh, my
very good.
goodness.
And yeah, we had some red bean ice cream, and
Which you'd never had before.
I've never had that before, but yeah, it was really good, and I highly recommend that place. And it was also a really good. Comparatively, we spent a lot of money on breakfast, a lot of money on lunch and stuff. I feel like that was, at the end, our dinner was like a lot better value for what we paid, and
Yeah,
we were filled up a lot better
We
because
paid
of it.
about the
But
same for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, with only like $10 differences about or so, and yeah, that was definitely the most filling, the best service, the everything. It was really good. I highly recommend.
we're gonna pack everything up. We have until noon to leave, but
It's only 10 right now, right?
10.
Or 9?
It's like 9 right now. Yeah, it's like 9 something right now. And we're just packing everything up. We're gonna get everything packed up, leave it all here, walk like 6 minutes or so. It's kind of raining outside, but we're gonna walk. It's like a 6-minute walk away to a place to have breakfast, and we're gonna eat breakfast and then come back and then leave. We have to go get our car. We dropped our car off Friday night in a garage that I prepaid for. and we couldn't like go back and get it until this morning. So we're gonna have to go back and get it as soon as we're ready, and it's right down the street. So
it's not like we can just go to the car and put some stuff in and take some stuff out and then leave. Like, they bring it out to you. So as soon as we go, like, need anything from the car, they're just gonna bring it out and then we have to leave. So
yeah. We've come to a place called the Tria Bakery. We've got some chocolate milk. We've ordered Belgian waffles. We both got, also Giselle got an apple turnover and I got a muffin. And we're very hungry. We're gonna enjoy our last meal in New York City. It's very inexpensive here. Looks delicious. They have like a big baked goods section at the front that I kind of want to take something home from, possibly. I'm excited. So this place is great. You excited? Go for it.
I don't know. Do I pick it up?
Yeah. Wow. They like toasted it. It's my muffin, my blueberry muffin, and I've never had a muffin like that before. It looks amazing. And Giselle's turnover is really good, right?
This was pretty. This final swirl was pretty, and then I stabbed it with my fork. It looks nice though.
And after a fantastic trip to New York, here's a sort of anticlimactic ending to this vlog. After eating breakfast, we kind of went back to our Airbnb and napped for a little bit, and we checked out around like noon and drove back. There was some stuff I would have really liked to have like gotten shots of, like around the area we were staying in, like Chinatown was really cool looking and just like really nice. Would have had possibly gotten really nice shots, but it was like really rainy. We were just like getting poured on, and then when we left, we were getting poured on the entire way out of the city, and the traffic was crazy, and everything was just nuts getting out of the city, and it was just very, very rainy, and so we didn't really shoot anything, and then the entire trip back was just so exhausting. We almost got into an accident. It was like, it was a nuts and really annoying, and it was a pretty exhausting trip back, basically. And we got back and we kind of like fell asleep, and we just talked to my parents. It's Mother's Day. Just talked to my parents, and it's like 9 o'clock right now, and we are gonna go lay down for real to go to sleep and just get some sleep before work tomorrow. So thank you so much for watching. Our trip was really great. We had a really good time. We're really glad that we went. We're really glad that we got to see the Tolkien exhibit. Both Giselle and I had tons and tons of fun, and tomorrow I'm going to go back to keto officially for sure, and I'm looking forward to that. I feel like I ate so much this weekend, and I really did. I feel very like full and stuff from this weekend, and it's great. So I think that's it for this vlog. Hope you enjoyed our trip to New York. We did, and we will be back very soon with more. Thank you so much for watching.